like this with these people, how do you feel?
Amazing. Awesome.
And there's some people who've never been here before. And it's like, well, who are all these happy people and why are they dressed in suits? But you'll get it in a minute. It won't take very long. When you walked in the door, how did you feel? What was the vibe when you walked in the door?
Wild.
Wild.
Inviting.
Inviting? Why are you here? Here's my question, and I'll ask lots of questions tonight, but why are you here?
To listen to you, Rowie.
Thanks, Karen. That's a good start.
Inspired by you.
Why'd you come? I said to somebody already, it's Thankful Day evening. We're really close to Santa time. There's lots of different things you could be doing, and yet you've driven, a lot of you are quite a way to be here, to invest time in this group of people. Why?
Hang out.
To better our lives.
To be with like-minded people.
That's probably the answer that I'm looking for the most, is that isn't it difficult in our world to find people who are happy and healthy and positive and have a career that they love and they're doing what they absolutely love to do every single day? How easy is that to find? Yeah. So when you have the opportunity to come and hang out with other people that are happy and positive and doing what they love to do and they actually want to make a difference in the world and they dress nice and you say, hi, how are you going? And they go, I'm fantastic, how are you? Versus, oh, not too, man. Wish it was holidays. Oh, I feel a bit sick. I'm a bit tired. It's all too hard. That's what I heard today. It's all too hard. You know what it is? Because I'm all for turning negativity into positivity. And my next question is that your reputation? I want you to think of everybody in your world that knows you, whether they know you because you stop there and buy coffee every day, because they know you because you sleep with them. And if I asked them about you, and I said, is this the most positive person in your world, what would the answer be? Don't have to answer the question. I'd just like you to have a think about it. That'd be good. Or, are you sometimes happy? See, this doesn't count. It's my favourite analogy. You're on your favourite beach, let's say Bora Bora. You've got your most favourite drink in your hand. You're about to make love to your partner. And someone says, how are you? What should you be saying then? That's when you really should be saying, fantastic. But that doesn't count. Bora Bora, partner, drink, that doesn't count. What counts is when it's all hard. When you're under pressure. When things aren't going so well. When the bank says, where's the money? And your partner says, put the toilet seat down, and your kids are screaming at you for what they want for Christmas, and you can't afford to pay your car repayments, and life is not so good. That's when it's all about. So I'm not interested in how happy you are when things are going great. I'm interested in how happy you are when things are, what's the word for this evening? Hey, hard. Hard. Now, as you know, because most of you have been here before, communication is 7% words, yes? So if I say the word hard, what do most people think? Positive, negative? Negative. If I ask a bodybuilder, hard, what do they think? Positive, negative? Positive. Because they don't want to be soft, do you? You want to be hard. If I'm talking to a army sergeant or an army lieutenant and I'm asking them about their general, and I use the word soft versus hard, what do they want to hear about their general? Hard. Who wants a soft general? You. CEO of a company, taking the company forward, driving things forward. You want soft or hard? Hard. So 7% of a word is the word, the communication of the word is the actual word, yes? But for most people, the word hard is a negative word. I'm hard. But for some people, is it a positive word?
Yes.
For the ladies in the room who like to make love to a bloke, which do we prefer? Have I got my point? Have you got the word going here? There are ways to turn everything negative into a positive, yes or no? Yes. So could we please write down the word hard? The question is though, what do you do with negativity and how do you turn it into positivity? When somebody's whining at you about the weather, what do you say?
No one's dead. Could be worse. Could be dead.
I would say that that's taking a negative and making it okay. I want to take a negative and turn it into a wow experience. How do we do that? Someone's whining about the weather. How can we turn it into a wow experience?
My roses grow in the rain.
How could you have beautiful flowers without free water coming out of the sky?
Grass is greener.
Grass is greener.
3-minute showers, not 2.
How about you could have a bath? Or is it all too hard for you when the whole world around you is all negative? Is it all too hard for you to turn it into a positive? Because I think, just for what it's worth, that the number one reason why the world today is fatter and sicker and weaker and more diseased than it's ever been is because we're too negative. If all of us in this room, everything we did in our life was about making the world positive, everything, not a little thing, one thing, two things, when we're in Tahiti things, no, all things. If we could turn all things, if you had the reputation of turning all things from negative into positive, could you make a difference in your world? Could you make a difference in how successful you are?
Yeah.
So I've already got a yes, that's awesome. And we haven't even got started yet. So 7% of communication is your words. And we're going to turn this word into a positive every single time. Because we could say, and this is where it changes, because if you write the word, type the word, text the word hard, and this is my real challenge with communication today, is most of us, we don't even chat to each other anymore. We just type things, text things, email things. And that's only 7% of the communication, because the word hard could come up as a negative if you type it. But if you add this amazing thing to it, it's called facial expressions, body language, and voice intonation. Could we change any word? The word hard could become hard. Hard. I love hard. Versus, you could say it like this, oh, it's all too hard. See the difference? The word is the same, but if you add your facial expressions, your voice intonation, your body language to a negative thing, can you automatically turn it into a positive thing? I use this one all the time. Would you like to have sex tonight? No. Versus this. No. Same word. Different meaning. Because I added a facial expression, a body language, and a voice intonation. But that's not where the powerful part of communication is it, Max students? The powerful part of communication comes from who you are. Your sparkly bits. Big happy hello from Miss Sparkly in New Zealand, by the way. And I've got a dog called Sparkles. And interestingly, that's a little bit about what tonight's about. Because how can you be happy all the time? You've got to surround yourself with positive, happy people, environment. If you're just a little lone person all by yourself, and everyone else is going hard, 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 and you're the one going, hard, love hard, it makes me stronger, people might think you're a bit of a lunatic. But in a room where everybody's saying exactly the same thing, it's a little bit easier. If everything around you, if you decide that everything around you, you're going to add in the positivity and the happiness and the words, and the big part is the words. What words are you going to be using? But what I'm going to challenge you tonight to do is, doesn't matter what the word is, you're going to turn it into a positive. which is this lovely word hard. And this came from this guy today who said to me, I said, how are you? And he said, it's all too hard. And I said, isn't that fantastic? I bet your wife loves that it's too hard. Guess what happened to his face? He went from all too hard to who can have that influence in your world? You can. But most people don't. Because I listen, and I love listening to conversations. I listen in lifts and I listen on the plane, and when somebody talks negative, guess what everybody else tends to do? The weather's a classic. I'm going to give you a big challenge tonight. Stop talking about the weather. If you want to be really boring, talk about the weather. Everybody talks about the weather. If you want to be the same as everybody else, talk about the freaking weather. And then this is what happens. Oh, it's really hot. Do you know, I've just come from a place called Palmerston North in New Zealand. 1 month ago I was there, and I say, hi, how are you today? Oh, it's really cold. 4 weeks later I'm in Palmerston North. Oh, it's so hot I can hardly breathe. And then the next person says, oh, I know, it's just so hot, it's ridiculous. And then this downward spiral, and what are we talking about? Something we have absolutely no control over, unless you're God. And a lot of people don't even believe in God and they still complain about the weather. Doesn't make any sense. So we're about to turn this word into the most positive, powerful word in your life. Sound good? Yeah. Because from this morning's conversation, because I love to learn from everything, don't you? You know, that person's really negative. I like to learn from people like that. How can I learn not to be like that? One of my favourite philosophers says, find a negative person or an unsuccessful person or a poor person, follow them around all day, take notes on what they're doing, ask them lots of questions, do exactly the opposite. And then you won't be those things. So from all too hard came this fantastic new concept. What is stopping you? Because that's a title. You know, you've got to put a title on a row. He's going to have a chat. What you're going to chat about. The title was, what's stopping you from doing everything you've ever written down or ever said you were going to do? And we've all written some stuff, haven't we? I asked my team. We all wrote down some goals at the beginning of 2013, and 2013's almost cooked. What's the date today? The 12th? Only got a few days left. What have you done in 2013? What have you actually done? Not talked about, not thought about, not dreamed about, but what have you actually done in 2013? And when you look back over 2013, will you look at it and go, I'm really proud of that year? It tastes great. Or will you want to spit it out and go, oh, that was a bit embarrassing, that one. I didn't cook my year very well. Or you could say this, I didn't cook it very well, but I learnt what not to do. Because can't you turn everything? You know, people go, oh, I'm so miserable because I failed in 2013. Did you? Just take everything you learnt from 2013, put it into 2014. Don't do what you did in 2008. If you had a bad year this year, don't do it again. Wouldn't that be logical? You learnt what not to do. Isn't that exciting? Come on, act a little bit excited. You've all shared with me that you're the most positive, happy person in the world. Well, you bet in your world, you best share that with me. You know, people say to me, I'm really happy, and I have no challenge saying this straight to people's face. Inform your face. You might be happy on the inside, sweet pea, but the outside needs some information. There's been a disconnect. I'm sick of hearing, how do I become successful? Oh, I'm so sick of hearing that. I'm so sick of people asking that question. I'm sick of the thousands and millions of books that are available on becoming successful. Because are there books available? Yes. What about weight loss? Most of us are in the fitness profession. Are there a few books available? Are there web pages available on weight loss? Yes. Is there information available on how to look amazing, feel fantastic, be healthy, fit and strong? Yes. Have you Googled it lately, lose weight? How many pages? Millions. It's got 6 numbers after the pages available on weight loss. Are we lacking in information on weight loss? No? So, why do we have the fattest, sickest, weakest Western world we've ever had? and just for interest's sake, I've just come from South America. What I expected to see in South America was poverty, which I did see. I also expected not to see obesity. Because usually with poverty comes, I don't have any food to eat, yeah? Just mind-blowing, the challenge with obesity in South America. Mind-blowing. Centre of Buenos Aires. If you've ever been there, very interesting centre of town. The biggest poster in the middle of the town, one was New Green Coke. Have you ever seen that? This is a New Green Coke in South America. It's made with stevia. It's not, the poster's not red, it's green. And next, so it's a diet Coke made with a natural sweetener. That's the biggest poster on this side of the town. On this side of the town, the big poster is the McDonald's poster. And it's 14 pesos, which the exchange rate in New Zealand was about $3. You can get a Big Mac, fries, a Coke, and an ice cream. Is there information available in the world today on how to be healthy, fit and strong? Yeah. So why are there so many overweight people? What's going on?
Too hard.
Oh, it's all too hard. Thank you, you got it. Is there information available on how to be successful and happy and have a life of abundance and have a career that you love and do have a life that's just amazing? Is there information available? Yes. If you go to the success stand in the bookshop, are there books available? How many books do you think there are on how to be successful? Thousands. But it's all too hard. Well, you know it isn't. Because I'm about it's hard. It's so freaking hard, it's fantastic. You ready? H. I'm a bit of a extra mile girl, so we're going to have 2 H's. It's like a stutter. Hard. So when someone says, how are you? You go, hard. So you have to put 2 H's. I know I'm chatting with the room of the converted. I get that. But the challenge I've got is all about this I know that versus I do that. I've got a big challenge with that. But I believe, and I'm sure that you believe also, even if you don't practice it, I'm sure you believe it, that if you are happy and if you are healthy, there's 2 H's there. If you are happy and you are healthy, would that be the ultimate foundation to having a successful life? Or is that what a successful life is? Because if I asked everybody in the room today, please write down your top 5 goals, I'm sure one of those 5 would be to be happy. Isn't that the ultimate goal? Oh, I just want to be happy. And we all think that if I have a nice car or I've got lots of money or if I'm really fit, or if I lose 10 kilos, I'll be happier. Is that true? First of all, is it true that people think that? Yes. But is that true? I'll rephrase. Are there people who are in great shape who are miserable? Yes. Are there people with lots of money who are miserable? Are there people who drive nice cars who are miserable? Are there people who live in beautiful homes who are absolutely miserable? The answer is yes. So those things don't necessarily make you happy, do they? But if you were happy and you were healthy, would that be a fantastic foundation to an awesome life? Is there information on how to be happy and healthy? Yes. Do you know, I think we all get caught up in the information. This is a little bit of a, somebody said to me just recently, I'll give you the actual paraphrase. I was speaking to a group of surf lifesavers, which by the way I think are amazing people because they go and give up their time to look after us on the beach. And he's a guy from America who's just moved to New Zealand. And he said, I just want to congratulate you, miss, because you're the first motivational speaker that I've ever found motivational. And I said, I'm not a motivational speaker. And he said, what do you mean? I said, my only definition of what I do is I'm an ass kicker. That's why I wear stilettos, because I'm an ass kicker. So here's my first ass kicking for this evening. I wish you all weren't here. Because ultimately, everything I'm going to share with you, you already know it. There's no challenge with the knowing. And what if we didn't need to be inspired and we didn't need to be motivated and we just went and did our thing? What if everybody right now, instead of being in this room, we were out helping people get happy and healthy? Because do we know how to do that? Yes. Do we? What's the best way to do that? Be it. It's not about setting the example, it's about being the example. So I'm challenging you, this is my ass kicking, If I go to your world and I say, is this the happiest person in your world? Is this the healthiest person in your world? What would they say? And not when they're in Tahiti on the beach. When there's free water coming out of the sky, and when there's a million cars on the road, and when the bills can't be paid, and when you're having challenges in your life, are you still the happiest, healthiest person in your world? Because here's what a lot of people do. I'm going to put the healthy bit in here. I haven't got time to exercise. I'm too busy. Haven't got time to eat healthy. I'm too busy. It's all too hard. I have to look after my kids. I've had to give to my kids this week. I haven't had any time to exercise. Really? I'm going to tell you, you've all heard this before, but I listened very carefully again on the plane this morning. When the oxygen mask drops out of the ceiling, in the case of an emergency, please take the oxygen mask, put it on all the children first and all the old people first, and when everybody else is breathing, you can then put the oxygen on yourself. Is that what they say? No. See, the plane people get it. What do they say? Look after you first. I'm sick of hearing from our profession, I haven't got time to exercise, I'm all too busy. You have to be the healthiest, happy person in your world. I know that you know this. But if you're not, the rest of the world's got no hope. Because they're looking at you and they're saying, you should have a career that you love, because you're not working delivering, picking up rubbish or delivering groceries or cleaning out public toilets. What are you doing? Helping people get healthy, fit and strong. That's got to be the most rewarding career in the world. So you've got a great career. And how many people do you hear say this? If I lost 10 kilos, I'd be so much happier. So you're the one with the career that you love, with the awesome physical condition. You're happy, healthy, fit and strong. Who should be the happiest person in your world? So I'm not asking you to think about the people that you know in your life. I'm asking you to ask yourself this question. I do every single day. If my picture was shown anywhere, anytime to anybody, would they say that is the happiest, healthiest person we know? And what does the answer have to be? Yes. It has to be yes. So hard. You know when you're in the shower, and you know, this is a funny question. Rowie, do you think I've lost weight? Ladies, you know this is the wrong question to ask any bloke. You all know this already. I'm just going to remind you that it's the most unfair question to ever ask. Do you think I've lost any weight? Or how about this? I wonder what I weigh. Or I wonder if I'm getting into shape. Just get in the shower and rub some soap on your body. You can feel it, can't you? You know when you're in great shape. Because those things are soft or hard, hip bones. And if you can feel your hip bones, that's hard. Is that good? Yes. Is hard a good word? Yes. Happy and healthy. Could it be hard in this world right now to be happy and healthy? Could it be hard? Or could it be hard? See the difference? That's what I'm asking you. I'm challenging you to be the happiest, healthiest person in your world. So, I'm not asking you, please, how to become successful. What I am suggesting is that if you are happy and you are healthy, how's your success plan going? How many of you know, and most of us in this room have had this experience, where somebody is of more mature age, they are very wealthy, and how much would they pay to look like G? I'm just reminding you, some of you have heard this probably multiple times before, but you know, I have real challenge with personal trainers who say to me, oh yeah, but you know, people don't want to pay for personal training. Well, we know that that's not true, because back when K-Man started personal training on the Gold Coast, there was no personal trainers in 1989, and now look, there's plenty of personal trainers, so we know that they do want personal trainers. That's not the challenge. But will they be prepared to pay for one? A guy owns $1 million home, he drives a $100,000 car. If he could go and buy G's body, would he? Yes. He'd walk into the shop and he'd say, I'll have a G, please. I'm using him as an example. There's many other beautiful bodies in the room, but he doesn't get embarrassed as easily as most. So, most blokes blokes that I meet on a regular basis in the corporate world who haven't seen their penis for 25 years would give their left testicle to look like G, let alone $100,000. Yes or no? And yet we undervalue. Some of us are even embarrassed to use the word happy. You know, it's a bit like it's hairy underarm stuff and airy fairy rainbow. Happy, happy, what's that all about? Well, you can't be happy all the time. Isn't that what everybody wants, to be happy all the time? So who has to be the happiest, healthiest person in your world? And it's hard. Say it hard. Hard. So I reckon we could stop there. Because if you really dedicated your life to being happy and healthy, everything else would pull itself together. Everything you've ever written down that you were going to achieve, I believe you will have achieved it. Because what does it take to be happy and healthy? All the other things we're about to chat about. So it's almost like we've got to spell the word backwards, but it doesn't work backwards. So you've made a commitment to being the happiest, healthiest person in your world. Tell the truth in advance.
Yes.
If you aren't already. Now what you've got to do, which I really don't understand, again, it's one of these perplexions in my life. You now need to be unique, different, memorable, stand out from the crowd. This A stands for you have to get people's attention. If you haven't heard this before, you cannot sell a secret. So if you're the happiest, healthiest person in your world, I believe you already have people's attention. Because people will say to you every day if they're not already, what are you on? What drag are you on? Because people cannot believe, I was in the lift just leaving the hotel just now. There's two guys going out to a party. I said, hi, how you going? Just smiled. Guy goes, what are you on? I just said hello. Did I have their attention?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I didn't have my vagina out. I didn't have my boobies out. Yeah, I said that for shock value. I absolutely said that for shock value. Because that's not the attention I'm talking about. It's easy to get people's attention in a shock value. Miley Cyrus is doing very well at the moment. Shock value. But there will come a time in all of our lives, and I'll rephrase to another very topical experience right now. When you leave this planet, will you fill up a football stadium, and will the entire world want to come to your funeral to recognise what you've done for the entire world? I've got goosebumps.
Oh, me too. Thank you.
Now, whether you like him or not, he filled up a football stadium for his funeral, and every leader in the entire world came to pay respects to somebody, their respect to somebody they believe changed the world. Now, right now in this room, and this is a unique group of people, but some of you, like I did, got goosebumps. Because deep down inside your soul, that is the kind of impact that you want to have on your world. That is the kind of attention. And I'm not talking about ego or everybody loves me or look what I've done. I'm talking about actually change the world. Make a difference to the world. Not your world, the world. Now, some of you are going, that's not of no interest to me whatsoever. I just want to have a happy family and a nice happy life and live beautifully and comfortably. And I don't get that, but I respect that there are people in the world that want to do that. But when I'm talking about getting people's attention, I'm not talking about how can I shock the world by being nasty or rude or causing some kind of mess. You know, Miley Cyrus has a lot to answer for to some of the little girls whose mothers have to explain that girl to their little girls because she used to be their hero when she was Hannah Montana. And I'm not being disrespectful because she's chosen to take on that path. I'm using that as an example of there's lots of different ways to get people's attention. So there's 3 questions to ask about attention, and you will get people's attention if you have these questions sorted. First of all, do you have to be happy and healthy? Because people aren't interested in negativity, and if they are, it's because they're happy you're miserable. I'll say that again. You know, there are people who will be happy when you're miserable. Do you get that? There'll be people that are happy if you're unhealthy. I'll give you an example. I did a really, and some of you have heard this story before, I did this really cool thing in New Zealand, maybe 5 years ago now, where I've got a girlfriend pharmacies. And you know when you go to the pharmacy and you're waiting for a prescription, normally you sit at a table or they tell you come back in 10 minutes. Well, Lynn had this brilliant idea that she would put 3 pieces of cardio equipment into each pharmacy. And instead of waiting, sitting down, reading the paper, and they were pieces of equipment, they were obviously cross trainers and bikes, that whether it didn't matter what you were wearing, you had high heel shoes on or skirt, didn't matter, you could still exercise while you're waiting for your prescription. And we just called the program the Happy Healthy Heart program. And is that visionary or? Yeah. That's changing the world, isn't it? So we launched that in New Zealand, and there was a gentleman that came that night, and he was 160 kilos. And he heard for the first time, hard. He heard for the first time ever that he didn't have to do 30 minutes of exercise. Because every cardiologist, every GP, every other medical professional had said to him at 160 kilos that you have to do at least 30 minutes of exercise every day. He had never heard before the concept that you could just exercise for a little bit of time. Just do something till you get puffed, and when you're puffed you can stop. And when you're 160 kilos, how long do you think it takes to get puffed? See, that's the exciting thing about this whole concept, is that the more unfit you are, the shorter your exercise program is. I sat down with him in Palmerston North last Thankful Day morning. He now weighs 95 kilos. He just finished the round the Taupo Lake. I have to pronounce it correctly because I'm from New Zealand. Taupo Lake. It's 160 kilometres, Nick Starr. 95 kilos is still a fair weight to take around 160 kilos on a bike, is it not? He showed me his scar, starts here, finishes here. He had a complete replumbing, he called it. He's also got a scar from here to here. They took the artery out of his arm, cut it into 4, and replaced all 4 heart valves, or heart arteries. Why would I share that story with you?
You get it hard.
That's bloody hard. That wasn't easy to lose 65 kilograms. It's not easy to have your heart replumbed. You should see his little face. I wish I could show you his face. He said, you know what I do now, Rowie? I search the internet for hot clothes. He said, I even wear nice undies now. The 3 questions I'm asking you is this: what do you stand for? And some of you I've known for quite a while, haven't I, Kassane? Been around for a long time. The message hasn't changed here. There's no fads going on at Max. There's no, oh, look at this brand new exercise program. Somebody said to me this week, what about CrossFit, Rowie? It's new. No, in the 80s there was a program very similar to CrossFit. It's not new. Nothing's new. It's like fluoro. Fluoro comes in, and if you're 16, you probably think fluoro's new. I'm asking you, what do you stand for? And I can very happily stand here and share with you that what Max stands for has been exactly the same forever. K-Man started the education program in 1989, but he was training people well before then. And it was all based on common sense, logical exercise. It's not common sense to tell a 160 kilogram man to exercise for half an hour. It's not common sense. It's like whacking him over the head with a hammer, which would be more fun for him than doing 30 minutes of exercise. At least it'd be over and done with. It's not logical to break the body up into topographical anatomy and do biceps and triceps and abs and quads and calves. And notice the vocabulary here, it's 1-syllable words. In our we can't call that a profession. In the fitness industry, they can't even speak in 2-syllable words. Could we at least call it erectus abdominis versus abs? No, we don't. We just call it, this is your body and let's get it healthy, fit and strong. That's logical, isn't it? And why is it all about how long we have to exercise? Why can't it just be how little can I do to get into great shape? How little can I do? I'm asking you this question for a reason. What do you stand for? I shared with my team this last strong, we call it here, for those of you wondering what it is. We don't say weak here, we say strong. Nelson Mandela stood for freedom. Freedom and equality for everybody. Now that's all been argued. Even this strong people, yeah, but he was looking for black dominance. The man was looking for equality. That everybody was exactly the same, didn't matter what colour you are, didn't matter where you were from, whether you're rich or poor, everybody's the same. Just a quick note on that, I'm chatting to school teachers tomorrow and it's a question I always ask school teachers. So if the principal's not at the school, who'll notice? No. It's not true. Because when I ask them, is the principal here today? Unless you work in the office, you wouldn't even know, because the teachers arrive at school and they go to their classroom and who knows? If the cleaner doesn't show up, do we know?
Oh, yes.
By midday, everybody knows the cleaner's not there. Nobody's more important than anybody else. And that man stood for that for how long? Equality. He went to jail for longer than G's been on this planet, because he believed that everybody was equal. And as I shared with the team this strong, K-Man's exactly the same. Since 1989, which is when he started education, he's stood for, don't do stupid exercises. It wastes people's time. He stood up in a conference in 1990, because I was there, and I was one of those people who go, oh, but my clients love to do sit-ups. He said, sit-ups are a waste of time. They don't burn any fat, they don't make your abdominals stronger, they're a waste of time. You know when he said that? 1990. He said, don't do side leg raises. They don't burn any fat off your leg. I'll never forget this because he said this. If you do one leg and not the other leg, you'll have one fat leg and one skinny leg. He said if you could spot reduce, women would have skinny faces because we talk a lot. You've all seen him do this. If you saw somebody in the gym doing this, what would you be thinking? What are you doing? What are you doing? What if that person said to you, I'm burning fat off my arm? Is that any different to this? Do you know what some people say? Some people say that the chemical makeup of the abdominal muscle is different to the chemical makeup of the arm or the leg. See, that's just stupid. But it's logical. Now when I share it with you, we're laughing because it's logical. But how long has he stood for that for? Since, well, the first conference was 1990. Do you know how many people have bagged him for that? He's spoken at conferences, people walked out the door. One bloke said this, excuse my language, is exactly what happened. Oh, this is just bullshit. And he walked out the door. Did that change K-Man's logical philosophy of what he believes in? Say no, Rowie. But what do you stand for? Because there's plenty of people who have sat at this boardroom table and said, I stand for professionalism in the fitness profession. And then I see you at your personal training studio wearing shorts. See, what you stood for is what Max stood for a short period of time, and then when the world changed your mind, you went off with those people. And then someone else tells you something else, and it's like people that change religions. Either you believe in it or you don't believe in it. What do you stand for? Second part of the question, though, is there's two questions. You say, well, this is what I stand for. Second question, what do you stand for under pressure? You're going to jail for life, mate. And he said, okay. I still believe in equality for all people, so I'll go to jail for life. You, under pressure. What happens? People leave here and they go and work somewhere that says, oh, you have to wear shorts here. I'd rather die than wear shorts and train people. Because I don't think it's professional. But that's what I stand for. I'm not asking you to stand for the same thing. What I'm asking you is, what do you stand for, and what do you stand for under pressure? When somebody says to you, you have to do it our way or go away. And if their way isn't your way, what do you do? Oh, but I need the money. Well, now you're a prostitute. If you're doing it for the money and not because you love it and it's what you believe in and it's your core values, that's just called prostitution in any form. Yes or no? Come on.
Yes.
So what do you stand for under pressure? And the last question, you've all heard it before, and it's going to be you, Rowie. You beat that drum over and over. Third question, who are you? What do you stand for? What do you stand for under pressure? But ultimately, the big foundational question is, who are you? Now, you've all, I think every Max Club I've ever done, I've given this, and we've been doing Max Clubs now for, it's got to be 10 years probably. I've asked this same question over and over. I'm going to take your photograph, I'm going to show it to all the people in your world, I'm going to say, give me 5 words to describe that person. And you've decided what those 5 words are, or you will soon, Kerry. Because those 5 words, and it can be 3, it could be 10, it doesn't matter. We picked 5 because you can put 5 on one on each finger, so they're easy to remember. Because I say to people, who are you? And they go, oh, I can't remember, I wrote it down somewhere. Well, you can leave your paper and your book and your diary somewhere, but you take your hands with you everywhere you go. If you connect those 5 words to your 5 fingers, this is called your reputation. I didn't pick the words, you did. Who are you? 5 words to describe you as a person. Those of you that have done the exercise before, I'm not asking you to be smarty pants and go, yes, Rowie, I know it, I know it. But do you know those 5 words without having to think about it, because it's who you are? Then all decisions are really easy. You never have to make a decision ever again in your life, because all you've got to do is decide, and you know mine, tough and fair, positive, stylish, disciplined and professional. Will I exercise today? I don't have to ask the question, because what do disciplined people do? Of course they do. No, I'm going to have a rest. No, that's called lazy. Disciplined people get up and exercise. You don't have to make a decision anymore. It'd be really easy to wear tracksuit pants and a hoodie and Ugg boots to a supermarket in New Zealand when it's cold, and most people in New Zealand, shoes are optional when they go to the supermarket. But does a stylish person go to the supermarket in bare feet and pyjamas? So you don't have to make a decision, what will I put on? Because what are stylish people going to put on? Stylish clothes. You don't have to make a decision anymore. It's easy. And just because this is those of you that have known me for a long time, this is something I will never understand to this day. I still don't get it. The quickest way to get somebody's attention is to dress beautifully. Because when you look around, who dresses beautifully? How many people? It's really easy, really, really easy to stand out. I have this really fun thing I do now. I go early now to do it for fun, because I travel around New Zealand a bit, and at the domestic airport there's an airport help desk, but there's never anyone at the desk. It's a perfect height for me because I never sit down when I work on my computer. So I put my computer up there and I sit in the help desk, and I'm always wearing a suit. I go early now because I feel like I'm helping people. It's awesome. Excuse me, how do I get to the international terminal? Excuse me, which bus do I take? Excuse me, is this the only departure gate? And I very happily answer all the questions because I know them all now. Because what I didn't know, I went and found out. Because when you're dressed in a suit, people think you are important. Mm-hmm. Why is that so hard to get? And you know what people say to me? Yeah, but I do that when I'm at work. But when I'm, it's casual. I just go to the supermarket. It doesn't matter what I'm wearing. How do you know who you're going to meet in the supermarket? How do you know who you're going to meet in the petrol station? The Prime Minister of the country has to go to the petrol station. He does in New Zealand. He probably doesn't in Australia, but he does in New Zealand. Who you're going to meet, and then there's that hierarchy thing. Is the Prime Minister more important than somebody that's 160 kilograms and needs to lose weight because they've got coronary heart disease and they've got to have a replumb? No. And will they take you more seriously as a fitness professional if you're dressed in a suit than if you're dressed in shorts and a singlet in the supermarket or the petrol station at 10 o'clock at night?
Absolutely.
And wouldn't you, being the happiest, healthiest person in your world at the supermarket or at the petrol station when you're standing in line, wouldn't you be chatting to everybody? Mm-hmm. And wouldn't they be saying to you, what do you want? And you'd be saying, I'm on life because I'm a fitness professional. I help people get healthy, fit and strong. And they look at you and go, wow, You haven't got your vagina out and your boobies out and your biceps out. You're actually dressing like a professional person. More or less likely to want to train with you?
More.
Well, the answer to that question is correct, unless they're already part of the fitness industry, and I use that word. If they're already part of the fitness industry and they love walking around with their vagina out and their biceps out, and they're going to think you're an idiot wearing a suit, aren't they? But that goes back to question number one, which is, what do you stand for and what do you stand for under pressure? I don't care anymore about the 10% of people that go to the gym. I really don't. They're already going. And they love doing stupid exercises. And they want to get arthritis when they're 55 because they want to do this. But they do it this way instead. It's true, yes or no? You've all tried to change their religion, haven't you? They don't want their religion to be changed. They're absolutely passionate about what they're doing. I don't care. Let them do it. I'm concerned, very concerned, about the 90% of people in the world who will have nothing to do with our profession because of the way we dress and because of the silly exercise programs we give them and because the programs are too long. But I'm asking you, what do you stand for? You might be the person that stands for the gym industry and you love wearing little clothes and inspiring other people to wear little clothes. But then stand for that. Don't come here and say, no, I believe in professionalism, which is really a lie. Does that make sense? So it's very easy to get people's attention when you stand for something, when you stand for something under pressure, and when you are that person. So those 5 words that you've decided who you are, work it out. Spend the time, invest the time on working out who you are. And then you don't have to make decisions anymore. When you use the word discipline, I'm not asking you to use it, but if you use discipline on your hand, and you have to make a decision about whether you'll spend your money on something that's silly or whether you invest your money wisely, what would a disciplined person do? So your wealth creation plan's sorted. It's easy. If you had to choose between a relationship that's going to hurt you and treat you poorly and not respect you versus pick a relationship that's going to make you add value to your life and make you feel important and special, what will a disciplined person do? They're going to choose the yucky relationship or the happy relationship. So you don't have to make decisions anymore. The decisions are already made for you. You've just got to pick your 5 words. If you pick the word funny, you cannot walk around like this. Guess what you have to be now? Came in and I went to a comedy show that was just spectacular. This guy was brilliant. And you know, when there's a comedian and he's funny, what would be the polite thing to do? That would be the polite thing to do. But when it's a really good show, what do you automatically do? It was just, I'm laughing. And if you've heard me laugh, I laugh with my whole body. We're just laughing and having the best time. These people in front of us, shh. Shh. Obviously, they've never stood on the stage and chatted to a group of people before. Because what is the only way you can thank a comedian for being brilliant? Laughing. If you go and see a comedian and nobody's laughing, what happens to his or her career? It's finished. I'm sharing that with you because if you are funny and you go to a comedy show, even if the comedy show is not funny, what should you be doing? Because you're funny. If you use the word sexy and you've got daggy undies in your drawer, what are you going to do when you go home tonight? Sexy people don't wear daggy undies. They just don't. And some of you are going, Ro, we've heard this before. Yes, I know, but some of you are still wearing daggy undies even though you know it. So decide who you are. Now, attention is also about marketing. Remember, you can't sell a secret. Every business can be successful. Every business can be successful. Every person can be successful if you market yourself effectively. But I'm just, again, perplexed and bemused as to why this thing is such a challenge. I think this comes from not being happy and not being healthy. Because first of all, you never have to market a fitness business. If you're happy and healthy, people will be saying to you every day, what do you want? And you're going to say, would you like to be on the same thing? What's your number 1 health and fitness goal? Really? Why do you want to achieve that? Where do you want to achieve that? When do you want to achieve that? How will you feel if you do? How will you feel if you don't? It's easy to market a business when you're happy and healthy. But how's your self-esteem when you're happy and healthy? How are you feeling about yourself? Do you know what I hear from some people? And this has been, it was an interesting, because there's an associate professor at Massey University in New Zealand, and she said, I'm fat and I love it. She got on the radio and got on television and in the newspaper and said, I'm fat and I love it. And I'm not saying that's not true, because I don't know the inside of her. But all of us that are sitting in this room have dealt with, experienced people who may be saying that, but is that really what's going on? Because when you are unhealthy and when you don't like the shape of your body and when you can't walk up a set of stairs without puffing and you just don't have any energy and you're not feeling healthy, is it a little bit harder to be happy? So maybe a reason that our self-esteem is low, or our reason for not wanting to market effectively, or why do we care what other people think? What's that all about? Most people, their marketing program is simply, oh, what will people think of me, so I can't go do that. Come on. Do we not have the best product in the world? It's the ultimate product. That favourite philosopher of mine said, if you want to start a great sales or marketing plan, you don't know how to do it, go outside, pick up a rock, throw the rock up in the air, and the next person that comes along and say, you're the first person after the rock. What's your number one health and fitness goal? If you can't come up with something else, why wouldn't you have a go at that? Start a conversation, wouldn't it? So many people have sat at this boardroom table and been given fantastic information about how to go and market a business, and I see them in 6 months' time and they're back stacking shelves at the supermarket. What are you doing here? Oh, you know, marketing, it's too... No, it's not. When you're happy and healthy, when you stand for something and you stand for something under pressure and that's who you are and that's who you're proud of being, then you will automatically market who you are. And then will you get attention when you go to an interview? If you're interviewing for a career position, will you get people's attention? Oh, see, that's not hard, that's easy. How many of you know Trippy? Have you met Trippy?
Yeah.
She's talking to cruise ships. How young is she, Nick Star?
Trippy.
Yeah.
56.
56. Cruise ships. What would most people have told Trippy about cruise ships?
Way too old.
Oh, who's going to want you? 56. She's gone to cruise ships. She's in London right now studying at Steiner. Not hard? Those of you that have read, I've given you a simple plan on what to do for a career interview, what to do for a Steiner interview, literally what to do at any time, anywhere if you want to get people's attention. And if you've read it, it makes sense. It's not my stuff, it's just what every other employer on the planet has said, this is why we employ people. But see, when you go to career interview, first of all, is the way you dress important? Yes. Will you get attention by the way you dress? Yes. Reputation at Steiner. We know the Mac students because they come dressed in a suit. We know automatically, and along with that comes, we know they're from Max, which means they understand dispersonality profiling, they already understand communication, they already know the W questions, which is the stuff they have to learn when they get to Steiner. So they go to Steiner for a much shorter period of time and they get on a cruise ship much faster. It's not hard to get people's attention. When you're unique and different and stand out from the crowd, and that's why those 3 questions are so important. What do you stand for? What do people know that you stand for? Which will get people's attention. You cannot be the same as everybody else and expect to be successful in whatever. And here's the big question for this evening, and I already asked you already. What does success look like to you? Not what should I say to Rowie or K-Man. What does it look like to you? If you could tick the boxes, I am successful. What does that look like for you? And this is just the simple, this is the hard way to become successful. The hard way. First one, be happy and healthy. Next one is get people's attention by being unique and different and memorable and stand out from the crowd. Do not look like everybody else. Our profession is so easy to stand out in because everybody just looks the same. And we're so stereotyped, it's ridiculous. I have to share this with you because it's just such a wow experience. Last Wow Day evening, I was sitting with the head of the PHO, those of you from New Zealand, that's the Public Health Organisation, just for the Manawatu region, which is like New South Wales or Queensland. So New Zealand doesn't have states, they have regions. and this is the head of the PHO for the Manawatu region. Now, Public Health Organisation is responsible for what do you think? And the public is who? So they're responsible for everybody's health. Millions and millions of dollars invested, wasted. Simple message. Everybody stand up because it's time for a brain break. If you don't know the song, you'll get it pretty quickly. So, attention, we're in a very nice, it's called the Gallery Restaurant. It's a very boutique-ish little, gorgeous little cafe restaurant, and it's a gallery because there's beautiful art on the wall, so that has art there as well. So it's an art gallery and a restaurant, yes? We've always got to get a message across to the head of the PHO Manawatu. Be happy, be happy, be happy, be happy. And drink more water till you've got clear wheeze. Drink more water till you've got clear wheeze. Drink more water till you've got clear wheeze. And drink more water till you've got clear wheeze. Eat more fruit and vegetables. Now stop. When we're with kids, we do it like this. Eat more fruit and vegetables, eat more fruit. But when you're with adults, you do it like this. Eat more fruit and vegetables. Eat more fruit and vegetables. Eat more fruit and vegetables. It's got to be sexy to eat vegetables. Eat more fruit and vegetables. Eat more fruit and vegetables. And get strong. Get strong. Get strong. Now that's the song. There's 5 verses. It's easy. 3. We're going to sing each line 3 times. You ready? Be happy. Be happy. Be happy. And drink more water till you've got clear wheeze. Drink more water till you've got clear wheeze. Drink more water till you've got clear wheeze. Eat more fruit and vegetables. Eat more fruit and vegetables. Eat more fruit and vegetables. And get strong. Get strong. Get strong. Do you think that would get people's attention in a restaurant? Yes. Now, why would you not stand up and get that message across if you had to? I've got to get the message across fast. I could talk that message for an hour, but ultimately, what's the quickest and fastest way to get it across? And guess what happens the next day? Be happy, be happy, be happy, and drink more water till you've got clear wheeze, and drink more water, and people get it. Only the next day I get an email from the head of the PHO New Zealand, not for Manawatu region. That's like the federal government health organisation in Australia saying, what's this? What are you doing? What's that simple message you're aiming to get across? Oh, this one. Be happy, be happy, be happy. It's in poster form now. And okay, you can sit down. Attention comes from what do you stand for, under pressure, and who are you? You would have, I'm sure, because you've been around for a while, a mission statement and a big picture vision. Exactly who you are, what you're going to do, what you're on this planet for. That will also get people's attention. You can't be fumbling around with that going. If I say to you, what's your personal mission statement? You go, I just have to get my book and read it. Versus to positively change your health and fitness of the world 1% at a time from the inside and the outside and to raise the professional standards of the fitness profession. Why do you think I said it so fast? Because I need you to know that I know it. I can't be fumbling around with it. That gets people's attention. Okay. Once again, I'm going to be chatting to the converted. R stands for respect. I know that you know that word. You've heard it how many times? I'm going to ask you an interesting question though. I had a group of year 10 girls last strong, and I said to them, what does respect mean? That was year 10 girls. This is a group of adults. What does respect mean?
Treat people how they want to be treated.
Interesting. Yep, I like it. We use the word a lot, don't we? What does it mean? We looked it up in the dictionary. Oh, I'm not happy with the dictionary version. Not happy at all with the dictionary version. It's admiration for a person or a thing. My feeling for respect, it goes a lot further than admiration. So I'm going to give you the Rowie version. And you've heard it like this before. Leave every person and everything better than you found it. Starting first, more importantly than anything else, with who? Self-respect. You cannot be successful in whatever format you've got it in your mind. When I asked you what does success look like to you, you cannot be successful if you look in the mirror in the morning and you say, oh, look at me, I'm so fat. That's disrespectful. That's leaving you, after you've looked in the mirror, worse than you found yourself. You would never say that to your best friend, would you? You would never say to your best friend, oh, you're so fat and you're so stupid. You make a mistake on your computer. How many of you have done this? I'm such an idiot. What did I do that for? You are not leaving yourself better than you found yourself, are you? How about this? Oh, that was a fantastic mistake I made. I'm going to learn from that and never do it again. Is a bit different than, oh, you idiot, what'd you do that for? Can you change what you just did? Come on, logical folks, can you change what you just did?
No.
Will it make it better or worse to beat yourself up about what... So now we're going downward spiral. So you made a mistake. Who's perfect? Hands up. We all make mistakes, don't we? All of us. We can't change the mistake. Can we learn from it and move on and grow from it and become stronger and better because of it? Yes, that's logical, isn't it? But if you respect yourself and you make a mistake, you're not going to beat yourself up about it, are you, Lise?
Nope.
And now comes to this really fascinating experience, and I know I'm chatting to the converted, but I'm asking you to set the example, be the example, not just talk about it. If you respect other people, if the world respected other people, regardless of their colour or their race or their financial situation, if there was true respect for other people, would Nelson Mandela have had to go to jail? Would there be war? And you can say, oh, Rowie, you're all up high in the sky, rah, rah, happy, happy. But if you think about that really logically, if we all respected everybody else, not the same as we respect ourselves, because how we treat ourselves is different to perhaps how other people would like to be treated, which is why I love what you said. Treat people the way they want to be treated. That's called respect. Imagine the world if that's what was happening. My Year 10 girls last week had to go to the Royal Show. Part of their community service was to pick up the rubbish at the end of the day. If the world was respectful, and I'm going to say intelligent, because where does rubbish go? It should go in the bin, shouldn't it? How many times have you been to the movies and a big group of adults have left their popcorn containers and their drink containers and their rubbish behind on the chair? Do you know what they say? Oh, but that's the cleaner's job. Is that respectful? Imagine a world if everybody was respectful of themselves, of other people, and all things. I travel a lot on planes. I think the death of the world will be public toilets, and in particular, plane toilets. How can you go in there and make such a mess and leave that behind? How can you do that? It's disrespectful. I'm pausing for a reason. Do you leave every person and place better than you found it? Some of you haven't started at Max yet. Nick Starr is constantly picking up after people in our college. I find it really interesting when I find dishes in the sink. What did you think, the fairy's going to come and wash them for you and put them back in the cupboard? There's no dishwashing fairy. It's called Nick Starr. Because someone who is respectful of their environment will do what?
Clean it.
Will come and clean it. Of course they will, because they're respectful. You know, some people say to me, oh, but I'm just, you know, it's just not me. I'm just not a tidy person. Well, bloody get tidy. And I'm not, that's not, you have to do that because Rowie said. But that same person will then say to me, but I can't get the career that I want, or I can't market my business effectively, or I can't get the relationship that I want, or I'm not happy. Of course you're not happy, because if people could come into your house and see it right now, and that's that part of the exercise that you thought I was going to forget about, didn't you? See, that's those 5 words that you would like your reputation to be, and you tell people that's who you are, and you might even market that that's who you are. But right now, we're going to do it, your house, your car, your life, as you have left it right now. You cannot change one thing. The Australian Federal Police are right now going to go through your house. They've got 2 hours while you're here. They've never met you. They don't know you. They've just got to come up with 5 words to describe you as a person after they've gone through your life. And wouldn't that not happen? I'm sure maybe your mother said this to you one time when you were a small child. Always wear your good undies because you never know if you're going to get hit by a bus. Have you heard that? Well, this is a bit something like that. So if your reputation is tough and fair, positive, stylish, disciplined and professional, what would your house look like? What would your car look like? What would the 3rd drawer in your kitchen look like? So the Federal Police are going to go into your house right now, wherever you live right now. They're going to have a look in your wardrobe and at all your clothes. They're going to have a look at the condition of your toothbrush, your shaver. They're going to see if your bed's made, and they're actually going to lift up the cover of the bed. Because you know some people leave the bed underneath but nicely put the cover over the top. Well, they're actually going to lift that up and have a look at whether or not you tucked your sheets in. Then look under your bed, behind your bed, in your pantry, in your fridge, in your office. Look at the last 500 websites that you visited. Going to have a look at your DVD collection, your books, your magazines, the ones that you're hiding under the bed. They're going to have a look at your Facebook and all of your friends. They're going to have a look at your bank account. Going to look at the hard drive, all the deleted bits on your hard drive. You know that the Federal Police can find all those, don't you? You're going to have a look at all of those. They're going to ask all the people in your life to describe you as a person, and they're going to have to come back to you and say, this is who you are. Based on what we've investigated, what we've found, these are the 5 words we would use to describe you as a person. But Nick Starr likes this one the best. You ready? The Australian Federal Police have got a new machine that can read your mind. So as they're sharing with you, this is who you are, they're also going to be reading your mind. So they're going to read your thoughts. And this is where this all comes together, because this is where I believe happy comes from. When what you think and what you do and the way you dress and the way you keep your house and what your car looks like and what your websites look like and what your marketing looks like is those 5 words. When that all comes together, and it could be 3 words, it could be 25, doesn't matter. But when who you are is who you are, is when you can be truly happy. Because if you've got something to hide, how do you sleep at night? You can't sleep. You're going to be, but they think that I'm really clean. But if they came to my house, yuck, it's dirty. And if I wrapped all of that up, that would just simply be respect. Because if you leave yourself and all people and all places better than you found it, what will you do if your toothbrush is shaggy? What will you do? You get a new one, because it wouldn't be respectful to brush your teeth with a shaggy toothbrush. Would you put air in your tyres? This is very embarrassing because I'm nearly 50 years young. I only just yesterday learned how to put air in my tyres. Willie helped me. There's this really cool thing in New Zealand at Z service stations where there's a man that actually says, would you like me to put fuel in? They don't charge you any more money. I can't tell you how exciting that was, that experience. I'm not a fan of the service station. But I'm a big fan of having my car in good order. I said, Willie, my tyres. He said, of course. I said, but Willie, you better teach me, because I cannot be 50 years young and not know how to do this. Because if you're respectful of your car, would you have the right air pressure in your tyres? Yes. The little things. You've heard this expression before, every discipline affects every other discipline. Have you heard that? Every discipline you put into your life will affect every other discipline. It's not true. Because you would look at a bodybuilder, for instance, that would be discipline, wouldn't it? Someone that has 5% body fat, that requires a fair bit of discipline on an eating and exercise. Yeah? But have you met some bodybuilders who are broke, even though they've got 5% body fat? So the discipline of having 5% body fat isn't affecting the discipline of having a sound financial plan, is it? Have you met some really wealthy people, seen some really wealthy people that haven't seen their penis for the last 25 years? I use that on a regular basis because the discipline of being able to make money is obviously not affecting the discipline to be in great shape and be healthy, fit and strong. Would that be fair enough? So I'd like to believe that every discipline affects every other discipline, but it doesn't. But could you make it? If you were respectful of yourself, would you make sure that the condition of your toothbrush matched the condition of your shoes, matched the condition of your fingernails, matched the condition of your bank account? That would be easy, wouldn't it, if you were respectful? And the last one, of course, because I've hit on it hard, because when you're a boxer, do you want to hit soft or hard? If you're a boxer, is soft good or is hard good? Hard. K-Man got a really good whack in the World Championships Taekwondo, like he just went over. And you're probably the only person who could really appreciate this effectively, and maybe you will too. He got up and he was so happy. Yeah. He got absolutely nailed, it was a kick, it was a really good kick. He was just so excited because it was so hard. I think he might have been excited because he could stand back up again. And I'll rephrase that into this. How do you know how strong you are until you're put under pressure? Until somebody stronger comes along and pushes you? Then you'll know if you're strong. And if you get back up again, now you'll know. Do you want soft or hard? Last word is discipline. And I believe this is like, if there is an icing on this, but ultimately it's the foundation, the icing and everything in between. You know, my definition of discipline is doing what you should do when you should do it, even if you don't feel like it. You know that already? Yep. Doing what you should do when you should do it, even if you don't feel like it. But that decision isn't difficult if who you are is a disciplined person. If who you are is respectful, you could have happy, healthy, get attention, be respectful and be disciplined as your 5 words, because you're an extra mile person like me and have 2 on your thumb, and you'd have it all nailed. Please do not kid yourself with that word discipline if you've ever done this. You know you could do it today, but you do it tomorrow. Because you've all heard this expression, tomorrow, never, and it literally doesn't. Because when it's tomorrow, there's tomorrow. Because now tomorrow is today. Don't put off to tomorrow what you can do today. If you can do it today, do it today. That is ultimately the discipline. If you're ever thinking to yourself, I could do that tomorrow, ask yourself a better question. Could I do that today? And if the answer is yes, then do it today. And not because of the thing that you're doing, but because of the habit of doing it today. So, very cool story, those of you that are coming on to advanced diploma. You've heard this before too, I'm sure, unless you haven't been here before. The easiest way to get discipline, because people say, oh, it's too hard to be disciplined. It's too hard to do what you should do when you should do it, even if you don't feel like it. Well, here's how discipline becomes very easy. How to get disciplined easily. You ready? Pick 5 things that you can do every day. You might even be doing them most days. And do them every day. Now I'm going to rephrase that because some of you are going, oh, that sounds all too very easy. It can't be things that you can't do. It can't be things that you think you might be able to do. This is not a goals list. This is what we call a toothbrushing list almost. Because toothbrushing shouldn't be something that you have to think about anymore. It should be just something that you're doing, yeah? So let's pick a couple of things. And you have to pick the list, but there's got to be things that are so easy. So, do we all exercise? There's all different prescriptions for exercise, but what would be the most important reason to exercise? For how it makes you feel. And do we all understand that? How do you feel after you exercise? Rephrase. How do you feel if you don't brush your teeth for 3 days? But the exercise prescription for most people is 3 to 4 times a week, which means there's going to be a time there's going to be 2 or 3 days that you don't exercise. Now, you wouldn't do that to your teeth, would you? And the most important reason to exercise is for how it makes you feel, yeah? So why wouldn't you just pick, if we're all exercise already, why wouldn't we get into the discipline of doing it every day? And I'm not talking about running a marathon every day. I'm just talking about doing something every day. Now, I'm not asking you to do particularly pick this one, but this is for example. What if you decided that you would every day without fail do 3 minutes of huffy puffy exercise? 1 minute in the morning, 1 minute at lunchtime, 1 minute in the afternoon. Just get puffed 3 times. I don't care if you run marathons, if you lift heavy things or whatever, but what if you made a commitment to every day without fail 7 days that you wouldn't miss? Something that is so easy that you couldn't miss. It's got to be easy to do. Got it? Would it be easy to make a commitment, for everybody in the room, would it be easy to make a commitment to do 3 minutes of exercise every day? Let's say 1. Would it be easy to do 1 minute of exercise every day? Okay, so let's say that, and I'm just giving you an idea for this list of 5 things. And why is it 5 things again? Because you can link it to your fingers. Yes, this is called the tip to getting disciplined for the rest of your life. Now, I'm not saying it's going to work for you. It's because discipline is doing what you should do when you should do it, even if you don't feel like it. And if you don't do this, but the point with this exercise is that it's got to be so easy that it's easy to do. Got it? So 1 minute of exercise would be easy, yes? Every day, 7 days. If you make a commitment to doing a little 1 minute exercise session every day for 7 days, and at the end of 7 days you've done it, how do you think you might feel? You'd be proud of yourself, wouldn't you? I made a commitment and I stuck to my commitment. That's good. Okay, what about this? Is it important to drink more water if you've got clear wheeze? Drink more water if you've got clear wheeze, yeah? So what if this? What if you didn't even drink more water? All you did was check your wheeze every day for 7 days? Without fail, because sometimes you might just quickly tinkle and go. You just check the colour of your wheeze, and if your wee happened to be yellow, you had a drink of something. Would that be easy to do? So for 7 days, you're going to check the colour of your wee, and if it's yellow, you're going to drink something. And you're all going, yeah, but what if I drink wine or coffee? Or I don't care what you drink, just drink something. Because would that be easy or hard? That'd be easy, okay? Because the whole point of this is for this easy to make hard happen. Write that down. Easy to make hard happen. Because do we need to make hard happen? Yes. Do we need to be healthy and happy? Yes. Do we need to get people's attention, or do we need to keep ourselves a secret? Attention. Do we need to be respectful? Yes. And do we need to get disciplined? Yes, so we have to make easy to get hard. All right, what about this? And this was just one that I did. I learn a new word every day. Now, I'm not asking you to do that, but would it be hard to learn 1 new word every day? And I did it the hard way, because I used to go to the dictionary and find a word. Now there's the easy way. You just type in, send me a word, and the dictionary people will send you a word every day with the meaning, and it'll come to your inbox. That's how easy it is to do this one. And are there lots of words we don't know what they mean? Are there lots of words? Yes? So for instance, as fitness professionals, it might be something like this. I'm going to learn a Latin muscle word every day for 7 days. Because would it be important to practice the skill of knowing the names of your muscles, so you don't just call them abs and calves and traps and bis and tris, would it, you know, as a fitness professional? If you went to the mechanic and you said, what's that? And he says, oh, that's the engine. Really? What about the bits inside? No, it's just the engine. You have to know a bit more about the car if you want to be a mechanic, yes? But it never ceases to amaze me in our profession how we would never give our car to a mechanic who didn't know all the bits to the car, and yet we go to a fitness professional, but because they look good, we think they must know, and we don't even ask them if they know the bits. It's important to know the bits. So just learn a new word. That would be one thing. What about this? People talk about, oh, I need to learn new stuff, I need to become more educated, I should go to more conferences, read more books, blah, blah, blah. What about this? Not read a book a day. What about 1 paragraph of a book every day? Would that be hard or easy?
Easy.
What if you made the commitment for 7 days? It doesn't matter. You just find a book, open it up and read 1 paragraph. Would that be hard or easy?
Easy.
Easy, yeah? Now, I'm not asking you to do that one, but that would be an example of that would be very easy to do. I don't have any children, but if I did have children, I do know that kids would love to spend more time with their parents. Would that be correct? Mm-hmm. And one of my favourite quotes as far as parenting is that kids spell love T-I-M-E. And I'm sharing this with you because when I've done this exercise in the past, I had a parent who shared with me, Rowie, 1 minute with my kids in this position. She said I was making sandwiches and patting them on the head and saying, yeah, 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 but it was always in the above position. So she said I made a commitment to 1 minute every day with each child. I would just lower myself into child position and full attention. First of all, would that be hard or easy? Easy. Would it make a difference?
Yeah.
If you're in a relationship, blokes, take note. Oh, but I told her I loved her 3 years ago. Surely she can remember. And you know what, ladies? He probably meant it and probably still does. I told you 3 years ago. Guys in the room, we like to be told a bit more often. If you told your partner every day that you love them, do you think it might make a difference?
Yes.
And not like this, I love you. So remember, there's facial expressions and voice intonation and sparkly bits that have got to come into this process as well, yes?
Yep.
But what if you just made that simple commitment? You know, I share this with corporate men who have shared back to me 6 weeks later that's the best thing that they've ever done in their whole life. They made a simple commitment to tell their partner, I love you every day. One guy said to me, the first thing my wife said to me was, what do you want? What'd you do wrong?
Who is she?
What'd you buy? Isn't that sad that that's what that's come to? It might be something as simple as, and one of the things that I did was do something for me every day. For those of you that are martyrs and you say, well, I do everything for everybody else, but I don't do anything for me, and I always giggle about this because that means physically finding something to do for you every single day. And I'm painting my fingernails at 3 o'clock one morning and came in and says, you know it's 3 o'clock in the morning, don't you? And what's with fingernail painting at 3 o'clock in the morning? I said, I haven't done my thing. I haven't done anything for me today. I have to paint nails so I can say, so I can tick the box that I've done something for me. Now this exercise I'm sharing with you is not about the things. First of all, they will make a difference. Of course they will. But the difference comes when, at the end of 7 days, you've done them, all 5, easy things for 7 days. What comes next? Another 7 days? How about a month? We could do a month. But I'm not asking you to do a month now. What I'm asking you to do?
7 days.
Just 7 days. And if you miss a day of any of them, guess what you've got to do? Just start again. So make up for the one that you missed. So you've got to check your wheeze and drink twice as much if you didn't check your wheeze. And you've got to start again for 7 days. Now this is easy. Remember I shared every discipline affects every other discipline? Okay, so I shared this one with one of my advanced diploma students. He's got 10,000 brochures in his garage. He's already got a fitness business and he's got 10,000 brochures in his garage. How much help are those brochures in his garage?
0.
How many people is he inspiring and motivating and getting started?
0.
None. They're in his garage. So we started with, could you please deliver brochures, not call people, not do cold calling in the street, not knocking on doors, nothing. Just could we deliver 100 brochures every day? Because it's part of your business. Well, that was really silly on my part because it's too many. So we said 10. Could we do 10 brochures every day? So you just got to go to 10 different houses, wherever you are, have the brochures in the car, put 10 brochures. Sounds easy, doesn't it? End of 7 days, you're meant to call me and say, I've done my 7 days. But if you miss a day, you don't call me until you've done your 7 days. So I don't hear from him. So when I heard from him, I said, okay, we didn't do it. 1 brochure a day. I want you to get 1 brochure out of your 10,000 and put it in 1 letterbox every day. Too hard. Too hard. Now, before you're judgmental, because I can see your little faces, oh, that's just pathetic. Don't be judgmental of anybody else. That's not respectful until you've done your 7. Because the challenge was that was my idea for him. He had to come up with his own. You've got to come up with your things and do them for 7. And feel what it's like to have achieved something consistently 7 days in a row. Haven't missed. Now, I know that you've heard this story before, because unless you haven't been here before. But I was a regular exerciser, and I could probably say I didn't miss until I did this exercise. So I'm going to make a commitment. I'm never going to miss a day, never going to miss a day. And for me, it's running. I'm going to run every day because for me, not for you, but for me, running is not about the body, it's about the head. How do I feel after I've had a run? So my first 365 days, I closed the diary and I've missed 2 days. I want you to think about how that feels. 365 days and there's 2 missing. And I could probably come up with a fantastic reason why I missed 2 days. I can't think of an excuse right now because that's what it would be. And I'm sure at the time I could have said I was tired or I was late or I was busy or I was injured or something. But ultimately, and I'm sure you've heard this expression, nothing tastes as good as being in shape feels. Have you heard that? Nothing tastes as good as being in shape feels. Well, the challenge we've got with that is most people have never been in shape, so they'd rather taste than be in shape because we've got kids now who've never been fit, so they don't even know what that's like. And I could give you 100,000 excuses why I missed 2 days that year, but ultimately on the 31st of December when I had missed 2 days of running, how do you think I felt? 2 lousy days, and I'm still telling you about that now, and that was nearly 12 years ago. Well, it was. On the 31st of December, it'll be 12 years. But that's good, you see. I didn't go, oh, it's so hard, I'm such a loser, I missed 2 days. What do you think I did? I understand how that feels now, to miss 2 days, and I'm never going to do that again. I'm now into my 11th year. I have not missed a day of running. It's the 12th of December. On the 31st of December, it will be 11 years. I haven't missed 1 day. G's been around when it's been 11 o'clock at night. It's been 3 o'clock in the morning. Doesn't matter. Buenos Aires is very dangerous. Run Buenos Aires. The gym closes at 10 o'clock. I don't know why the gym was closed at 10 o'clock, but I hadn't run yet. So K-Man, my bodyguard, and I were in the middle of Buenos Aires running around the big penis that's in the middle of the town there. And it took me 27 seconds to do 1 lap of this little block that I found, but I still ran because I would never miss, because I now know the pain of missing. Now you might say, well, that's just a silly little exercise. Why would you be so ridiculously pedantic to run every single day? First of all, what's one of my words? Discipline. What do I stand for under pressure? See, sometimes there's a pressure to find somewhere to run. You should see some of the places I've run. It's hilarious. Funniest one is when you run inside the airport, you know, in the gate lounge. See, but if you care what people think, you wouldn't do that. Heathrow's the funniest because people are just going, what? There's people from all over the world, isn't it? Hong Kong airport, there's people taking pictures. What's this woman doing? Because I wouldn't miss. Why would I miss an exercise session because of what other people think of me? I'm not sharing this story because of me. I'm asking you. Unless, I'll rephrase, if you are healthy, happy, energetic, you've got a life of abundance, you have money to give to wherever you want to give, you've never said, I can't afford that, because you can afford to buy everything that you want. You live in the house that you want to live in, you drive the car that you want to drive, you go on the holidays that you want to go to, you give the money to charity that you want to give. Unless you're in that position, you have to get hard. Happy and healthy. Get people's attention for the right reason because of what you stand for under pressure, and who you really are. Be respectful of yourself, of other people, and everywhere you go. Leave a profit. Leave everything better than you found it. And discipline is doing what you should do when you should do it, even if you don't feel like it. I want you to imagine what that will feel like. Think to yourself, I've done what I said I was going to do. Don't you think that's the biggest reason why people are miserable? Because they sprout their mouth off about everything they're going to do. Did you do that? Why not? It's too hard. And you can now share, it is hard. Happy and healthy, get people's attention, be respectful, and have discipline. And last but not least, we have a responsibility. Because whether you're going to do it on a small scale or a massive scale, at some stage, most of you in this room have made a commitment to doing something with the health and fitness of the people in your world, whether it's for yourself or your family or your kids or the world. If we don't do it, and I say this with absolute passion and pride and focus, If Max doesn't do what we're doing, nobody else in the world is doing what we're doing. There's no other education provider in the world that stands for simple, logical exercises, professional standards, anatomy and physiology without any of the crap attached to it, and changing the health and fitness of not the 10% that are already going and are already addicted, but the 90% that aren't. In your lifetime and in my lifetime, we could change the health and fitness of the world. I cannot do this by myself. I'm having a bloody good go at it, but I can't do it by myself. And I will not stop till the day I die. I will be preaching exactly the same thing. Please write this quote down if you've never heard it before. If you don't get away from the basics, you'll never have to go back to basics. If you never get away from the basics, you'll never have to go back to basics. And here are the basics. Be happy. Drink more water till you've got clear wheeze. Eat more fruit and vegetables. Get puffed. Get strong. That simple message, forget that to the world when we make a difference. Ladies and gentlemen, get hard. Thanks for coming this evening. What a pleasure to be in this room with these people. Wow.